might still be in my ex's closet in Redwood City. And I know where some of the secret rooms are in the buildings still in Sunnyvale that have now grown over, and they look like one of those dystopian future type settings with the vines and the trees and the weeds all surrounding the headquarters that used to be in Sunnyvale.
That is awesome. You lived in California and worked at Atari. That sounds like a dream life. It turns out Josh has done some important things in the past, and I've just got us live on YouTube. I don't have us live on Facebook. And so, Alan, I'm going to ask you to be interesting for a minute while I fix this great technical issue, this snafu that I had no idea has happened. We're getting into the show, so I feel like that's important. I'm going to be right.
Okay, so I can be interesting. So when you were talking about the Atari, that was actually my first game console. So in '82, I was about 9 years old, somewhere right around there. What games did you actually work on? Because I mean, I had stuff like Pitfall, Pole Position, Defender.
Yep, Defender was a big one during my tenure. The assembly line in Sunnyvale built the 2600 consoles. So we did that first generation of computer, and then the wood simulated wood grain game console. And every 10th one that came off the manufacturing line, we had to have a procedure for the inspector to plug it in, turn it on, and fire up a game in it to make sure that it worked before they put the tape on the box and sent it off to Kmart.
Oh wow! So I definitely remember one Spider-Man game, and it seemed like it was the same thing over and over and over again. All you did was climb to the top of the building. You would see the green goblins fly across, and then that would be about it. So was that my imagination, or was that game real at one point?
There were just so many limitations that went into those 8-bit systems, and we just got excited right before they closed down the facility when they went to the deluxe system that they called PAM, and I forget what the acronym stood for, but that actually had the 16-bit cartridges. So it was super deluxe for 1982. The graphics were a generation better. The gameplay was a little bit better, but it still didn't match those lunch hours that I spent with my coworkers in the Atari game room at the facility, where we were standing next to the designers as we were playing the game consoles and running through the systems, and playing Tempest and Space Invaders and Missile Command with guys that knew all the tricks and all the cheats and all the secrets, and it was a blast for a young 20-something engineer.
Okay, so when you were working there, I know when I was on my end playing the games as a kid, the one game that aggravated me and made me madder than any game that I've ever played since then was Joust. So from your perspective, what was the one game that everybody was like, man, I just don't want to play that anymore?
The one that we really struggled with, and as time has gone on, I've heard lots and lots of stories about why everybody struggled with it, was E.T. The big push to get it out, to do it fast, to beat the Christmas shopping spree, and get it on the market, get it into the stores before the developers had time to really finish it. Was you went to the bottom of that pit, and that's where you stayed for ever and ever and ever until the game finally burned itself out, or you threw stuff at the TV.
Could you turn it off and turn it back on and play from there, or
it would only take 5 or 6 minutes for you to get right back into that pit and live there forever. It was so frustrating. And
see, Jeremy, we're talking about a time when there was no such thing as really just turning it back off, turning it on and turning it back off. and rebooting. I mean, it was a situation.
You couldn't restart computers back then?
Well, no. For these types of game systems, you had a little box that would connect into the back of your TV, and you had a choice. And I believe it was either TV or console or TV or game, and you'd have to physically flip a switch to go back and forth for a lot of those systems.
Jay, thank you. I appreciate that you appreciate my drinks. Guys, yeah, Josh is out due to stuff. Alan has stepped in. If you are watching on YouTube, congratulations, because Facebook has kicked us off. So we're going to have to figure out some kind of workaround. You know, it's no good that Alan and I said that we were Team YouTube, and
I smell a conspiracy.
I promise it wasn't on purpose.
I don't know.
Oh man.
I am going to attempt, just to see if it'll work, I'm going to try to share the video on Facebook and see if that'll help any. I'll try to share it on my Facebook.
I appreciate that. Let's see. All right. So while he does that, Mike.
Hard question of the night, Jeremy?
Yeah. I mean, the harder they get, the more people are like, nope, I don't like that. So I got to stay in this zone where it's got to be just a little bit much, but like, okay, pretty easy tonight. Would you rather have 2 thumbs on each hand or a tail?
I think I would really like a tail.
I've always wanted a tail too. I mean, there's so many caveats to how things work. But
and we're not talking one of those little stubby tails like whatever that funny movie was with
Show How.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey, it's a roll of the dice. We don't get to pick. It's evolution.
Okay.
Mike has a tail. Oh man, Alan, you doing okay?
Oh yeah, I'm just typing away.
All right, smarter people than me work on this show, so
yeah, I want one of those cowardly lion tails from the original movie that I have to keep pushing down from behind me because it gets in the way. You know, it wants to do its own thing up here, being wacky. That's the tail I want.
I'm into it. I'd like one of those tails too. Hey, so let's check in on the prize cam. We are a prize show. This is gonna be fun because we've got about half our audience. But hey, let's go ahead and check in on the prize cam now. The prize cam this week has some great prizes here. Mike, I know you're a fan of strong female characters in comics, so I tried to kind of curate that. That Red Sonja that's signed by Gail Simone. Have you seen that before?
That's beautiful. Yep.
Okay, perfect. That wasn't a Mike Wazlowski edition.
I have not ever encountered a Gail Simone autograph or person to autograph things, so that one did not come from me.
Perfect. So we've got that. Then we've got down here. You'll see a Mandalorian armorer. It's a cling for a window, which is kind of cool. We've got 2 different Marvel packs featuring different characters there. We've got everything from Gwenom versus Carnage to we've got some actual Gwen in there. Let's see. You'll also see our ubiquitous Haven Comics prize pack. Then you've got right there. That's actually some new art that I've got. It's just I've produced a new sticker, and then I don't know if you guys remember Kyle Starks, but we've got him sending the that's Ripley and the alien, and then that's Arnold Schwarzenegger with a little tiny. I'm gonna make that bigger like I typically do. Little tiny predator. That's so cute. And then if price cam, if you'll scroll up, we've got a Tom Price original. That is Zatanna Zatara and Mr. Mixelplix. And then we've got a Hot Girl Pop Funko. And then we have a special collaboration with we've got a special collaboration with the Blurred Syndicate. So they have decided to start giving us scrolls. It's a legitimate scroll. That is an anime. I wish Josh was here to hate on it because we could have, a whole conversation, but it's not something I'm familiar with, but. So.
All fantastic prizes, always wonderfully presented by the Prize Cam.
Thank you, Prize Cam. All right. I'm going to add my...
So how's this supposed to work out if there's a prize I want to try to win?
You don't. You greedy?
Well, I mean, that was never covered in the phone call with Josh, so I think I should be exempt from that rule.
Okay, you're exempt. You can steal all the prizes and earn all the hate you want. I don't live your life, man. That's up to you.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
All right. All right, guys. I hope we start to get some... Hey, I think this is Kim. Kim Middleton. I think I've seen that before, the skate thing. But you guys ready to play the game?
One last thing. One true Zachary. If it's something I want, I'll give you the 4 life sign, and you know that's me wanting it. Go for it.
Cool. Hey, will you guys do me a huge favor as fans of the show? If you don't mind sharing this over to Facebook, especially on the Haven page, since I really ganked it tonight, I'd appreciate that if someone would share that over. It's just good sportsmanship to allow them to come back in. And before they do that, you all know the rules. Mike, you get to win everything tonight. Clearly, you know all the answers. You're a super brilliant guy. You worked on Atari, so clearly pop culture is your thing. You did say you were an engineer too, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
And so I have forgotten more than anybody in the audience knows.
Well, perfect. So we all know you're going to win everything, but audience, Mike has self-admitted that he is not good at golf. So he's going to whiff. And when he does, you need to be the person that gets it in the chat first. First person in the chat to get the right answer is going to have an opportunity to win these prizes as long as Mike doesn't get it right, which he won't. You all know he won't. Okay. So, Mike, you ready to play?
Let's go.
The first thing up is the ubiquitous Haven Comic Prize Pack. We've got a coaster, we've got a magnet, we've got 2 stickers, and you are going to win the opportunity to advertise for us for free. How do you feel about that? I hope good.
Like a whore.
All right. So that's your... I don't know where that counts in PG-13. Anyway, in Harry Potter, what is the name of Dumbledore's pet phoenix? That's question 1. Pet phoenix, Harry Potter, do you know?
I do not. So I'm going to say Jean, because Dumbledore is a big X-Men fan, and he named his phoenix after Jean Grey.
I love it. It actually looks like we've got the right answer in the comments.
That's who I saw first.
It's Fox. Alan, did you know that one? You're trying to snipe?
Yeah, actually, I knew that one. There's a couple on here I didn't know, so I'm a little excited for some of these because I want to see who all can get them.
Quick shout out to Owen Anderson, writes our questions. He does a great job. Jean Grey.
Rapidash. Oh, that's a good one. That's a Pokemon reference that I caught. Well done, whoever that was.
Are you a Pokemon guy?
I trained my 2 sons from the start of Pokemon. We had a league that we went to every Saturday. I never became a gym master, but I certainly played and collected a lot of the original, the jungle, the fossil, and I helped my boys build some really killer decks in tournaments. So
awesome.
I've got a little Pokemon in my blood.
Very cool. I'm getting called out here. Jeremy, you'd know that if you kept your end of the bet. Kim, I'm going to watch all the Harry Potter movies. I never said when, but I'm going to do it.
So let me say this right quick. Read the books. Don't bother with the movies. I mean, the movies are good entertainment, but the books are so much better. If you read the books, then watch the movies, you'll be like me and think the movies are trash.
Hey, I made a bet. I got to watch the movies. So doesn't matter what I do with the books. Still got to watch the movies.
I think Jeremy is waiting for the comics of Harry Potter to come out so he can digest them that way.
Oh,
he's going to be waiting a while, and then that series will probably run for 25 years the way they have to bust it up into comics.
Hey, I do watch movies. Everybody tags on me all the time. I watch like 3 movies a week. Just not. I don't know.
Monsters University and Frozen over and over and over again does not count.
Oh man, I think so.
Hey.
I resemble that.
All right. Hey, Alan, you ready to ask your first question?
Let's do this. Number 2, the design for C-3PO was...
What are we playing for?
I don't know what we're playing for. I'm asking questions.
Yeah.
No, he don't need that. I need that.
You gave it to the show, you nerd.
Well, it doesn't matter. I still need it.
All right, Mike, if you win it, you got to fist fight Alan for it.
Nah. Right. I've pilfered enough stuff off this show over the episodes. I can give this one away.
All right.
All right. Question number 2. The design for C-3PO was partially inspired by an android called Maria that appeared on what classic German sci-fi film?
I think I know that one. And that's a very old. That film is probably even older than me. I'm going to say Metropolis.
Nailed it. Mike came in with the win. Metropolis. And looking at that image, that's C-3PO is straight up ripped off.
So here's my question for you, Mike. When you realized what it was, what was the first thing that popped in your mind as far as Metropolis was concerned? As far as the movie itself, what was the first thing that popped in your mind?
Oh, the head of that robot.
That iconic movie poster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Justin, you answered before the question was finished. That's because Justin knew it.
Another
Justin knew it right off the bat.
Movie to add to Jeremy's must-watch list.
Metropolis?
Yeah.
I'd watch that before I watched
Harry
Goonies
Potter
or anything else. Yeah, I gotta watch Harry Potter. That's a bet. I gotta honor my friendship with Kim. But Metropolis, I might actually watch. So. All right, guys. So we are doing this cool thing with the Blurred Syndicate. They are sponsoring one question a week. They're a very similar show. They have a very similar audience. They are on Facebook, and they talk about nerd and pop culture stuff. So that's our friend Wyatt, has been on the show before. Cut over to the prize cam here. You will see that they are giving away this I'm with the BS wristband. And then also this cool scroll. This is big. This is a big thing. Also, it's not cheap. It's not like a sheet of paper, or it's a like a bona fide like cotton-esque kind of thing. So they're going to start doing that with us, and I want to say thank you to Wyatt and
Mike. I like that. That's pretty cool.
The scroll?
Yeah.
The scroll or this
I've seen
video?
that scroll. That
Are you into that anime?
Yeah, that was really cool. And my dumb self is over here still talking, and right across the top it says microphone muted during video.
Okay. Mike, question 3. You ready?
Ready.
While in school and before becoming a Hollywood legend, who helped take the Morehouse College Board of Trustees that included Martin Luther King Sr. in 1969? He was also, there's a lot here. I'll help you unpack this in a second. He was also an usher at MLK Jr.'s funeral the previous year. Okay.
So while Mike's thinking about it, let's show him what he's playing for.
Oh, yeah. The prize can. We'll throw this up here again. Playing for this scroll. It's too big to fit on my table. So, well, I mean, it could, but it would take up the whole table. So that's what we're playing for. Mike, he was in school. He becomes a Hollywood legend. All right. He helped take the Morehouse College Board of Trustees. I don't know what that means. That included Martin Luther King Sr. in 1969, and he was also an usher at Martin Luther King Jr.'s funeral the previous year. He was a student at Morehouse in Atlanta.
Don't have a good clue. Morgan Freeman.
It's a good guess. Audience, who knows the right answer here?
I saw the answer a second ago.
We got a lot of right answers. The first one I see is the one true Zachary Jordan.
That's the first one I see too.
Yep. It's Sam Jackson. Got a lot of people. A lot of people are guessing this. So it actually was. He was a student at Morehouse, and he knew his way around. So they said, why not? And then he went on to become one of the biggest Hollywood celebrities in recent time. Awesome. So, okay. The next prize that we have up here is this pack of Marvel comics. These are all variants. It shows a lot of really cool, strong female character covers. So we've got Tomb of the Black Widow, we've got Gwen Stacy, and then that's a New Mutants variant right there. That is cool. I don't know how these guys do it.
Hey, that Gwen Stacy, is that Art Germ?
Yes.
Is that who did?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is Art Germ. Good eye. Art Germ is, in my opinion, the best working artist today in comics. I mean, there are a lot, but when it comes to cover, he does one thing very, very, very well. I don't know if he's the best.
But if you ever look at some of the anime that he draws, you can put some of his comic art right beside his anime, and you would never imagine it was the same artist. I mean, it's just like night and day difference.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Mike, how do you feel about Art Germ? You an Art Germ guy?
I am. Yep, big fan.
Awesome. So, are you excited to win that?
I am anxious. So give me a softball.
All right, so for some reason, I got faith in you in this one. You ready for question number 4?
Ready.
All right. Actress Sandal Bergman, who had appeared in Conan the Barbarian as Conan's love interest, Valerie, or Valeria, how you say it, originally passed on the role of Red Sonja to avoid typecasting and opted to play the film's villain. What was the villain's name?
Oh, man. Rats. Darn it. I don't have a clue.
You thought it was a softball for a second. I saw that smile.
Yeah.
We got the first wrong answer here. It is not Crom.
The Black Queen.
That's a good guess.
Close. Queen is definitely part of it.
Audience, do you know what the right answer is?
So I do see the right answer.
Yeah, me too. It looks like
actually,
it was Jeffrey. Yeah,
Jeffrey. Actually, I was going to say I saw Jeffrey Middleton first, but
it moved up. That happens to me sometimes. I go to click it, and then the questions move up. So it was actually Jeffrey. Congratulations, you won that prize pack there. I feel like I should know this kind of stuff, but never seen it. That's gonna be on my T-shirt. So we need to have a T-shirt of Josh too. Way more people would buy Josh a T-shirt, and it would be this piece of art that Mike actually commissioned for me. So.
Bestseller. Put that on a rack at Target and fly off the shelf.
I feel like we could get away with selling it because even though it's got, it's clearly Venom-esque, it doesn't show any of the actual. It's not a recognizable character that somebody would own. It's just tendrils and weird stuff. So. Okay. Hey, Mike, you have seen the show before, correct?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Can you tell us what happened in question 5?
Question 5 is from, it's imported directly from some northern territory, famous for their ice cubes and second place National Hockey League teams.
Are you trying to start a fight?
The Canadian bonus question.
Awesome. Yeah, it is the Canadian bonus question. So who won? It was the
Lightning.
Yeah, the Lightning
won again this year.
If you look, it's an American team. Is it Miami? There's another city.
It's in Tampa
Bay. It's Tampa Bay. But they're all Canadians. The team is in America, but it's full of Canadians. So.
No, when you officially put down a Florida address as your mailing address, you are technically Florida man. So how did the inventors of the sport allow a bunch of Florida men to beat them at their own game?
I don't know.
That's the questions we need to be asking tonight.
Up for grabs, 25 Haven dollars. You come into the store, we will give you $25 worth of goods and services. You tell us what services are at Haven. I don't know, but we'll give it to you. All you got to do is answer this question. Mike, you are aware you cannot answer this question. Only the audience. What mountain with a marvelous name is listed as the world's greatest vertical drop, also known as the world's biggest cliff? The Google machine is on fire right now. I like the way this was worded because it would be very hard to Google.
It will, but the best hint is actually in the question. So think about the question.
We do have a right answer. World's greatest vertical drop, world's biggest cliff. It is Thor. That feels like a made-up answer. That feels wrong, but it is Mount Thor or Thor Peak. It's located On Baffin Island in Nunavut, Canada, the drop is over 4,100 feet. Can I share a pet peeve while we're all here? I just got you guys gathered here. Share this pet peeve. When someone says it's over and then gives you a very specific number, I'm like, always question, is it the next single number digit that would come after you? If it's over 4,100 feet, what is it? Like 4,140 feet? Just give me the... Oh, man.
But see, you think of that, and the first thing I think of is some idiot somewhere just thought, hey, that would be fun to jump off of. So they strap a parachute on their back and they dive off of it. And I'm like, why? I know it's a faster way down, but it's not the safest way down.
I don't know. I'm into it. I would jump off that thing.
Here, and you know what? I would go with you and watch
measure. I'm going to measure it. Ready?
You take this side. Oh, man. Exactly, Zach. Exactly. It may be 4,100.2 feet. I don't know. Just give me the number of feet.
I mean, what if it's like 4,199 feet? It's still technically over 4,100, but it's under 4,200.
Oh, man. Owen says it is actually 4,101 feet.
Well, this question is Owen's fault. Let's move along.
I mean, he didn't make it that number of feet. Oh, man.
But he knew we would go somewhere with this. So,
Alan, Mike, you ready to move on to the next question?
I've got lots more engineering comments about over or almost or approximately 4,100 feet, but let's move on.
Okay. Alan, we are going to play next for this pack of comic books. We got a Spider-Woman variant. We have a Champions Outlaws variant. And we have this beautiful Gwenom versus Carnage variant. They're all cool in their own right. This is, man, some of them feel like they're just popping off the page. Mike, what's your favorite up here?
It's definitely the Carnage. I'm not a big Scotty Young fan, so the Spider-Woman is fun, but not my favorite. But yeah, Gwenom getting covered by figure hugging Carnage is right up my alley.
Hey, Presscam, zoom in on that. I think that's Mary Jane. So, yeah, looking like Mary Jane right there. Nobody's mad about it being Mary Jane, I imagine. Okay. Question 6. Alan, you're up.
Are you sure this is mine? Because I don't know if I can say that word. So, all right then. Question 6. Oh, my God. Yeah, she's dying to say it. The Batman villain, the Scarecrow, suffers from chiroptophobia, which is a fear of what? And to repeat, that is chiroptophobia.
No, this can't be right.
I don't know if that's right or not. I'm just amazed that
he lists his source, so it definitely is right. But
yeah, I mean, he definitely listed the source. And Owen, huge shout out. Thank you for sounding that out, because I never would have said it any other way.
He sounds it out because I butcher everything. I sound like an idiot over here all the time. Oh, man.
I've seen too many movies to know this one specifically, so I'm just gonna toss. That is a fear of bats.
Congratulations. It's 2 on the nose, but that's the right answer. Scarecrow is afraid of bats. Let's see. I would have challenged this. Following the Crisis on Infinite Earth reboot, the character's origin story is expanded in Batman Annual number 19 and the miniseries Batman Scarecrow Year 1, which was one of my favorite comics of all time. It was done by Sean Gordon Murphy. Beautiful comic. With this narrative also revealing that Crane has a fear of bats. So totally canon, totally real. Not a softball. but bat. So
I'll take it.
We got a bunch of
good time to get an answer right.
Jeffrey thought he was going the Batman route. Batman was afraid of bats, so he became a bat. Nope, he was not afraid of scarecrows. Not snakes, more scarecrows. So, did someone say, oh, ravens? Zach, I misread that and thought it was ovens for a second, and that is a very specific fear, ovens. So. All right, guys, question 7. We are going to play for the sticker pack. So we've got the Kyle Stark stickers, and then we've got my new sticker. You see that postcard. I've played with this character a lot. People seem to really like him, so I made some stickers. They're just 3x3 vinyl stickers, and wanted to start sharing those out with the world. Mike, you get first crack at owning that sticker.
Fun.
Okay, perfect. Also, this is the real estate question of the night because I'm a realtor and that's how I pay the bills. Question 7. Metropolis was modeled after Toronto, Chicago, and New York City. And in the 1940s and 50s, it was said to be in the state of New York. However, it was retconned in the 1970s to officially reside in what state?
I don't know why it moved in the 70s, but since lots of things moved in the 70s or the end of the 70s, the early 80s, is that when the New York Jets moved to New Jersey? I'm going to say Metropolis also moved to the Garden State, New Jersey.
Not this time. Not this time. We don't have a right answer yet that I see.
Okay, so while we're waiting on the right answer, I can tell you this. If you are heading towards Illinois, going up through past Nashville, Paducah, Kentucky, all that, once you get to Illinois, you do get to a place called Metropolis. And on the side of the interstate is a big water tower that says home to Superman and has got him flying across it. And it is a town that is about the size of Harvest, Alabama. It is not big at all. But they do have a massive Superman statue in the middle of town. Because, Bug, I know everything.
So many things coming in. I didn't get to put this up. Gotham is in New Jersey, is what Owen says. And I believe him.
Yeah, hopefully that was a Freudian slip on Owen's part to write that response incorrectly.
He's got a little map here. He's got them actually pointing it out on a map. Okay, so
not the state that he named, Jeremy. If you pull his answer up again, he is incorrectly spelled new.
Oh, this one? Wait, which one?
Owens.
Oh, yep. Owen, reel it in.
So I think Kate Lisa needs to slap his wrist.
Owen, you're banned.
All right, HR, moderate him.
Hey, so I do see the right answer here. I think that we just went through every state. I think that's what happened. But it looks like it's Jeffrey on my side. Alan, you see the same thing?
That's what I was seeing a minute ago, but I had several jump on me.
It's Delaware.
Yep.
So not where I would think, a Metropolis would be. We have one up here. Sorry, Jeffrey. Comics and Death Metal had it first. And then, Jeffrey, I don't feel bad for you because you got a bunch of answers before that. Let's see. Yep. So it's Comics and Death Metal. God, I'm so bad at remembering all of the tags. So that's Ryan Williams, right? Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. Hey, so Alan, real quick, I'm gonna get rid of this. Oh, there we go. Hey, you see that? Jeffrey is an honorable man. Okay, so Owen gets a stay of banhammer activation. Commissioner Gordon just called to spare him. So, Owen, you're off the hook this time.
All right.
Alan, you're going through the eastern part of the United States, and you mentioned Paducah, Kentucky, of all places. Why?
So, where my wife is from, well, actually, where her family's from in Illinois, we would go up there, and Paducah, Kentucky is about the halfway mark. And the first couple of times that I went up there with them, I'm used to going on a car trip. You get in the car and you go. Well, I was younger and her mother drove, and it was like we stopped in Paducah, Kentucky and spent 2 hours at a super Walmart because that was like the closest one there. And yeah, it was really cool to see a super Walmart for the first time. But at the same time, I'm on a 10-hour car drive and I'm agitated because I'm ready to go. And I will never forget Paducah, Kentucky. That is like a halfway point for me whenever I'm telling somebody where to go.
Little known fact, I graduated from Murray, Kentucky. The closest movie theater there wasn't, I mean, there was a movie theater in Murray, but it was real tiny. But that's where Paducah is where we go to hang out. So it was a town smaller than Paducah. Yep. And we drive to Tennessee to get alcohol. So, yep. That's my life. You just, hey, Haven Comics was born in Paducah.
And then whenever we go to St. Louis for see the Cardinals series, we always stop in Paducah to get gas. It's like the perfect place to get gas when you're headed up north or out west.
I didn't even realize just for a second you unlocked some really good memories for me. I think Haven Comics. I think that's Kate Lisa was born in Paducah. So little tiny blip on the map, but turns out it's important to a lot of people. Paducah has a place with the mile-high meringue pies. A lot of love there.
Sounds like a good place to stop then.
And Owen apparently hates Paducah. So
why are we sad about Paducah?
I don't know.
They got some great gas stations right on the side of the interstate. You drop off, you get gas, you jump back on, you're gone. And a super Walmart. That's what it was called back then, was a super Walmart. It's a super Walmart. It was just like Madison Square Mall. For years, I thought it was actually named the Super Mall.
We got a lot of love for Paducah, Kentucky, of all of the places in the world. Oh, they've got some great gas stations. Paducah Tourism Board. Oh, man. All right. So for question 8, we are going to play for this Hot Girl Pop. You guys pop collectors?
No.
No, not a pop collector.
I don't have room in my house between comics and art and Barbies. The pops, we don't have space for pops.
See, with me, it's one of those that it's got to be something I really like if I'm going to go to the extent of buying a pop. Like, I've got the Joker pop. My 2 favorite that I will always keep is Shaun from Shaun of the Dead and Ed. I've got both those pops. Other than that, pops are kind of, it's got to be something that I'm really into before I go grab one of those.
I'm the same. Like, if it's really on brand for something that I really love and I see and it's just awesome, then I'll get it. But sometimes, I see the people with like walls of pops, and I'm impressed but overwhelmed. So I do have Man-Thing. It's creepy, and I love him.
That's a fun one. That's a nice one.
Man-Thing's my guy. So. All right.
So I may miss this question intentionally. Just a heads up, Jeremy.
Well, if you get it, you can barter.
Oh.
That's always a possibility. Tool. All right, question 8 mine, or who's that yours?
It's yours. Question 8 is yours.
Question 8. What popular 80s British new wave pop band was named After a character in the 1972 Barbarella film.
Tell me the vintage of the pop group again.
It was a British new wave pop group. Now, they started out new wave, but they definitely ended up pop, and they were all over the place. And I guarantee you that if any one of their songs come on, you'd probably know it word for word. And you would definitely remember the videos.
Duran Duran.
Very good.
Nailed it. Duran.
And does anyone have a copy of the questions? Can you ask me that? Or can you tell me that? Is he like looking at the questions now, or is he just kind of
I don't know
going off the top of it? Well, the reason is because in question 8, he actually has after. He has the word after twice. Mm-hmm. And the only reason why I read it that way was I thought, hey, that's actually a pretty slick hint if you think about it.
That is. Yep.
I felt like you were calling him out just now.
Well, if sometimes if people would just listen to the questions, there are hints in the questions. Owen's very good about that.
He works in mysterious ways. Quick side note, we are going to have Owen on episode 50. So a couple of weeks before that, maybe a week before that, we're going to have some fan submitted questions. You're going to have a chance to stump Owen. Obviously, Josh and I are going to moderate them, so don't get too crazy. Get a little crazy, but not too crazy. All right.
Well, Owen, awesome. I see Owen's comment on here. If that is a mistake, that is like the best mistake because I thought that was an excellent hint.
Okay, hold on. 2 things going on here. Number 1, Owen writes he's at work. Cool. Sorry, you make mistakes. I don't call you out because I'm not a jerk.
Hopefully the mistakes he makes are just on the questions and not on his
I thought it was an actual hint. That's why I said I thought it was a brilliant hint. And I'm like trying to praise Owen over a mistake that he made.
He's smart. He's smart. He knows what he's doing. But also he corrected me here. Episode 52 is when he's going to be on. He's going to be on our 1-year anniversary. He was smart enough to catch that I was like, episode 50, it's a milestone. He's like, why wait 2 weeks? It's a year. We've been doing this for a year. How crazy is that? A whole year of this show. I'm super psyched.
We still haven't got it right.
It's a work in progress. We grow all the time. Let's see. Okay. The next question we are playing for. This is Tom Price.
Tom Price. Yes.
Yep. He's great. This is Zatanna Zatara and Mixoplex. If the price cam would zoom in just a little bit, we can read. Mixoplex is saying, this is not what I meant when I asked you if you had a bunny suit. And she says, but it looks so cute on you. So little, switching up expectations there. Mike, you're a Tom Price fan?
A big Tom Price fan.
And
big comic book characters in bunny suit fans. So this is fun on multiple levels.
That's one of the things I really like about you. You are a huge supporter of local artists. Everybody that I know that's an artist, you've commissioned. So that's amazing. Tell me about that.
I just want to build my collection with different art, new art, and if it motivates somebody who's just getting started to keep going, then one day my dream is to own a piece of art from somebody who is as famous as J. Scott Campbell or John Byrne and say, I bought this piece from the Huntsville Expo way back in 2015 when they were just struggling, and now, the story I can tell my grandkids.
Very cool. I'm excited about that. It's not going to be me, but keep looking. You'll find somebody eventually. Question 9 is actually our local artist spotlight. The fictional vampire heroine Vampirella was created by writer Forrest J. Ackerman and artist Trina Robbins. But what icon of sword and sorcery contributed the cover art for Vampirella's issue #1?
I think this one out because you have seen tons of his art, and he has worked with tons of people.
I bet you got this guy's work somewhere.
Oh, yeah. In fact, I could literally name one of his pieces, and if I named it, you'd be like, hey, that's so-and-so.
Yeah.
So, do you remember back in the 90s when Verotic Comics came out that was owned by Glenn Danzig?
Yep.
He worked with that artist some on several pieces.
My mind is stuck on Joe Jusko because he did a lot of my favorite Vampirella covers, but I don't think he did early Vampy covers, and I'm just drawing a blank on those.
I'm going to give you a big hint. The question says sword and sorcery. I'm just going to reread that part because I left off that it said sword and sorcery fiction. But sword and sorcery is a super important part of that question.
Is Burroughs an artist? Edgar Rice Burroughs? That's my answer.
I don't think he ever actually drew it. I thought he was mainly just an author.
That's what I think too, but I can't remember who did.
Okay, so just out of curiosity, if I ask you who painted Death Dealer, who would you say?
Oh no, darn it! FF.
Do you know it?
Son of a gun. Yep. Frank Frazetta. Rats.
I'm gonna pull this up. Alan, take over. Who won this question? Who did it? Who got it right?
Actually, I think the first. Well, let me double check before I go spouting off a name on somebody. And we have it wrong, or I have it wrong. Actually, looks like the first one is going to be one Mr. Comics and Death Metal, Ryan himself.
Congratulations,
that's who I'm
Ryan.
seeing first. And there was a lot of. There was a couple people that hit it at the exact same time. It's just Ryan popped up first.
So, Franzetta, am I saying that right? I say these names wrong all the time, every day. But is Franzetta?
I don't think there's a N, so it's Frazetta. Frank Frazetta. Yeah.
Awesome. I learned something new.
And keep in mind, we are in the South, so we're not known for our pronunciation. So you're fine.
That's it.
But he is just like a tent pole in comic book art, in sword and sorcery art, D&D art. A lot of his artwork, I'd put it up there, but Josh will get mad at me. We got it in the store, but it's in the back room. So just really phenomenal artist.
And you will still find artists today doing homages to all of his pieces. And, every single one of them is recognizable.
Yeah, and there's still, even all these years later, there's still something about that Death Dealer piece that no one will ever be able to top that. That was just, I don't know, like perfection personified as far as he was concerned.
I'm going to pull that up. Is that something I can put up here?
Oh, yeah, you definitely put that up there.
Oh, yeah. This is like...
it's iconic at this point.
Yeah, I see this. What did this come from? Because I see this and I think D&D. Is that what it was from, or?
I don't know if that's what it was from. I think the first place I actually saw it was in Heavy Metal Magazine.
That's what I'm thinking too, Alan.
So,
but I have a feeling that Frazetta did it for something else, and they just bought the rights to it, or they incorporated it into one of their early magazine covers.
Mm-hmm. I might have. It's looking like, I believe it's Kay Lisa saying Death Dealer was in Eerie or Creepy magazine, and I think she may be right on that, because Creepy and Eerie did have a lot of stuff like that long before Heavy Metal magazine got started. Yeah. They got started.
Yeah.
We were talking about his influence. Of course, we get into art, and I just start nerding out. We get into, look at this, right? So this is one of his classic pieces, very, super, I want to call it Karashura. I pronounce all these names wrong. Yeah, I'm not going to try it. But it's very, like, heavy, dark, just super great piece. But then you look at, like, Jay Lee, who's very, like, modern, one of the, best artists working today. And those things Jay Lee's got a lot of influence from Frazetta, has to. So
Owen's got a comment on here about Frazetta did a lot of Conan illustrations. Mm-hmm. If I'm not mistaken, and I mean, this is going to go way back in the day, and it's going to be one of those obscure memory type things, but there was a character called Doc Savage, and he was pretty much the Bronze Man.
Man of Bronze.
Mm-hmm. Man of Bronze, that's it. But if you look at some of the cover art on the novels for him, I wouldn't be surprised if that was some of Frazetta's stuff also, because the similarities are pretty much spot on.
Mm-hmm.
I think Boris Vallejo did a lot of Doc Savage art as well, and they had similar styles. I remember back in my early collecting days in the 80s and 90s when all those little masterpieces were on trading cards.
Yep.
And you could buy the 90 card set of Frazetta or Vallejo or Julie Bell or Olivia, and man, that sure made going to the shopping malls in California for their baseball card stores and searching for those folks who had non-sport cards. That was always an adventure for me. I remember those times fondly.
So we got Haven Comics also made a comment about, and you mentioned too, Julie Bell and Olivia. They took fantasy art to an entirely different level. I mean, they were like some of the first female artists that I ever really and truly paid attention to. It was like, holy crap, where did that come from? And it's not that, I didn't care about female artists or anything. It was just at the time, you just didn't see that many when it come to art like that.
What would you have known?
No, you didn't. I mean, it was literally right there, and it stood up against everybody else's. And it was like several years later that I realized who some of these artists were. It was like, holy crap, I never knew.
We've got an important question coming in the comments. Who likes Moon Knight? I think everybody likes Moon Knight. Black Terror, thank you for popping in. Okay, you guys ready for question 10? Mike, you ready to wrap this up?
The ultimate question?
Yep. You have made it all the way through. I know you're on pins and needles. You got that stress. You gotta feel each muscle release and just breathe. You're gonna get this for sure. Audience, you know better than that. So
I gotta summon my Wonder Woman pose with my Axe Cop t-shirts and all right. I'm ready.
It. Okay, you're playing for this Red Sonja, signed by Gail Simone. Red Sonja seems right up your alley. Perfect segue from what we were talking about before. So if you're ready to win this,
Before I ask this question, I think there's something we need to talk about. So when we get down to question 10, I think that if they have a piece of memorabilia or something in their collection behind them, then they should possibly lose it, because I'm seeing something. Because I'm seeing something on his wall that I really want.
You are. I think Alan. It's questionable whether or not you're a good person. I think it's a flip of the dice. You want to steal something from every single person you meet.
I'm a very
really love that. Give it to me.
Look, I'm a very loyal person, but I never claimed to be a good person. Y'all are the ones that thought that. That wasn't me. So I think we should possibly go with Haven's Red Sonja versus his Linda Carter poster in the background.
Oh, okay. Mike, are you willing to just give up your stuff? No. I veto that.
I will take your memories also. I'll take your childhood treasures. Because Linda Carter is the Wonder Woman. Well, no, I just like seeing people in pain sometimes. So let's move on to question 10.
That's the Dark Quiz Show where we answer questions for nerd pink slips.
Well, I'm glad he didn't point at my Mike Grell piece that was grudgingly sold to me at Memphis 2 years ago, or my Monty Moore original pencil Wonder Woman. I'd be much less inclined to put those pink slips on the table than Linda's Wonder Woman poster, which now is serving as my curtains as well as my window cover. So there'd be a lot more sunshine in here if I have to give that up.
You started working from home, so that moved to the window.
And my business computer usually doesn't face this way, so when I do have to go in a Skype meeting, it is not showing Wonder Woman behind me.
Awesome. Alan, what were you going to say? Were you going to try and steal something else from the man?
Well, no, I mean, I noticed all the Wonder Woman stuff, but keep in mind, I mean, I was born in the 70s, so when you start talking about like Wonder Woman and things like that, I'm automatically going to gravitate toward Linda Carter. Christopher Reeves is my Superman, so I mean, if it, you automatically go with what you know and what your childhood was, and I'm automatically going to go with the Linda Carter. So let's see if he gets to keep his Linda Carter and ask this question.
You will get a bigger fight from my wife than from me for that Linda Carter Wonder Woman. That's all I'm going to say.
All right. So
here we go.
I love that video. All right, question number 10. Originally, what magical article of clothing crafted by Aphrodite's husband as a gift to her was used to create Wonder Woman's lasso of truth? Oh, you got it. You got it. You mean to repeat the question?
Nope. But I'm not 100% sure of the answer, so I'm going to give a couple of distracting guesses. I'll say her stockings, since those are long and skinny, and if you wad them up tight enough, you could probably make a lasso out of them.
Are you just trying to gauge if I answer with my face?
These none of these are going to solicit a raised eyebrow, thumbs up response.
I'm out.
I'm just going to drag the show out for a couple more minutes while I decide if a cape or a cloak is really the right answer.
Huh. I was sorry. I was reading something about this particular answer. So did he just like take off? Did Jeremy leave us? Is it finally us? I mean, can I take complete control? Never mind.
His meter ran out. He had to put another quarter in.
Yeah. I just have a really bad habit of losing my poker face. I'm stone cold until somebody says something, and I'm just like, no, that's the wrong answer. And then it's like, you got to guess. But Mike's digging deep. He's in his spirit house.
So you know what?
I'm going to say cape.
Is that your final answer? Because I was about to give you a hint. But I mean, is that your final answer, or would you like the hint? Because I mean, come on, we're at the end, and this will probably be one of the few times I guest host. So damn it, I'm going to give a hint.
All right,
I can't stop you.
All right, so here's the hint.
Does it rhyme with cape?
No. Oh God, no. It was retconned by George Perez, and the origin of it was actually the golden blank of blank. And I would be absolutely shocked if you find a modern woman that actually wears one of these today. And if you do see one, chances are it's in a magazine. I'm just giving all sorts of hints. I don't care anymore. What's my last question?
Yeah, you're fired now.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. I'm never getting invited back. That's okay. We're going to have fun while I'm here.
For those of us old folks, then, who may be the only ones who know what one of these is it a girdle?
After Crisis, George Perez retconned its origin as the Golden Girdle of Gaia.
Gotta love those alliterations.
You know who's at home screaming at his computer at the top of his lungs? Justin.
Sorry, Justin.
Sorry,
but he spelled
Justin.
it wrong.
It had to be done. And Owen, to answer your question, yes, it was the retcon. That kind of surprised me. I did not know that. I thought that was kind of cool. That's one of those little tidbits I'm going to have to remember.
Owen wants you to know men wear them too, so don't be a sexist. But hey, now people can stop bashing me about how I get prizes away all the time.
Yep, and one true Zachary, we can still be friends. Just take solace in the fact that you defeated Justin, and that's all that really matters. I mean, do we need the prizes, or do we just need to beat Justin to the answer? Sometimes on the Star Wars questions, as long as I beat Justin, I'm a winner. That's all that matters.
So Justin's came first, but Zachary spelled it right. So
yep,
you robbed both of them. Mike, I hope you feel good about yourself.
I absolutely do. And I know Justin will forgive me.
But Zach won't, so watch out. So how do you feel?
Zach doesn't know where I live yet.
Well, he should feel pretty good. He got to keep the Linda Carter poster.
Yeah, you did great.
Yes.
Man, I bet, Alan, you were that mean kid who wanted to play Magic the Gathering and set the card aside so you could steal it.
I only played that a few times in the in the 90s when it first came out, so probably about mid-90s. And nobody liked playing with me because that was that guy that just kept pumping mana into the rock Hydra until I had a 4,000 head Hydra and nobody could beat me. So
I have no idea what you just said.
But most people don't.
Just making up words, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Did you play Pogs for keeps?
No.
Oh man, I had you misjudged. My mom asks, Jeremy is an Art Germ, my Catwoman guy. Yes. Art Germ did a run of variant covers on Catwoman, and whole sidebar conversation with my mom. Yes, you got those. So, is that good? What's that good about? Hey, great job, Mike. Oh, I just saw I was great first, so I was really happy there.
We kept it G-rated. We kept it on
the rest
PG.
Of them, Jeremy. You could have just.
I don't know.
Stopped displaying comments after the one that congratulated you and been done. Said, okay, that's our show.
Speaking of that being our show, we did pretty well, I think. So Kim walked away with the Haven pack. Mike, I'm going to read all yours at the end. One True Zachary got the Blurred Scroll. Jeffrey Middleton got the Phoenix pack variant comics. The Canadian question went to One True Zachary, who is just collecting them. And actually, Zachary, I think I have some stuff that I meant to give you last week that's just in my car because I'm an idiot. Comics and Death Metal, you got my sticker and the Kyle Stark stickers, which are pretty cool, I think. And then Comics and Death Metal, you also got the Tom art. So congratulations. Mike, you got the Star Wars Cling, you got the Carnage pack, you got the Hot Girl Funko, Hawk Girl, not Hot Girl, which, whatever. And then the Red Sonya signed comic from Gail Simone, which I think is a find, honestly. So.
Very happy with those prizes.
Awesome.
Thanks for the assist, Alan. Thanks for walking me through this, Jeremy. It wasn't as bad as I was afraid it was going to be.
Well, you watch the show all the time, right? You know that we're not intentionally mean.
Nah, we just do that for fun every once in a while. Hey, I do have a request. Since I stole the last question from Zachary and from Justin, can we take one of the Haven Comics coasters and just throw them in their boxes and give them to them? Yeah, sure, little coasters. Yeah. Those things rock. I love those things. I got several at work.
I'll give them a coaster. Let me write it down. Zachary and
Justin.
Yep. And this is my last thing for the night. Looks like we have 13 people watching and only 7 likes on YouTube. What the hell? I keep telling y'all every week, go like the video, but nobody listens to me.
I am happy to see everybody stick with us on YouTube. Hey, for everybody on Facebook, I'm sorry. And also, you can't hear me say that, so you don't even know. So we missed Josh because the show broke. Who knows if it would have broke if he was here? But now I'm responsible, and now I got to take that burden, take that heat. So, sorry,
whatever
Josh.
you do, don't blame the prize cam.
The prize cam didn't have anything to do with it. It's
on me. Went up 1 like. Thank you.
I got to take responsibility for it. Okay, guys, it was great to see you. I appreciate you guys joining us. It's always nice to be able to do this, and we're out.